Allen Ginsberg, the master poet of the Beat generation, and Philip Glass, world-famous minimalist composer, are traveling through the Midwest giving poetry readings and recitals to benefit the Tibetan Buddhist organization Jewel Heart.
When I was alive, I wrote as if I would die. When I was alive, I trembled with ecstasy. When I was alive, I brooded in solitude too. When I was alive, I left you a message. When I was alive, I transmitted electricity. When I was alive, I kissed the one flower. When I was alive, everything became quiet.
The role of the artist in society is a very important one. The arts, besides being ways of glorifying ourselves or our own development, but they have a more important use, which is that they're ways that we can benefit the world that we live in.
Buddhist teachers, lamas, and Zen teachers encourage expression of mind through art as a way of teaching attitude, dharma, non-attachment, looking at the mind. That art is considered one way of meditating in a way, or examining your mind and showing your mind to other people.
In the mid-1950s, Allen Ginsberg emerged as one of the central figures of the Beat generation. His signature poem, Howl, became one of the most controversial works in American literature. It was filled with language that tested the boundaries of conventional decency and had political sentiment that challenged the prevailing view of American life. In live poetry readings across the country, he helped change the way Americans looked at their politics, sexuality, and religion. Ginsberg was one of the early popularizers of Eastern thought in Western culture. When he died in the spring of 1997, he was studying Tibetan Buddhism with Gelek Rinpoche, the founder and spiritual director of Jewel Heart. Philip Glass graduated from Juilliard in 1962 and went to Paris, where he began to explore musical ideas which later came to be known as minimalist. In 1976, he wrote the groundbreaking opera Einstein on the Beach. Other operas were soon to follow. He also explored mixed media productions, writing scores for experimental films such as Godfrey Reggio's Koyaanisqatsi. In 1988, he set to music the poetry of Allen Ginsberg, composing Wichita Vortex Sutra. His complex and innovative work has helped revolutionize 20th century music.
Practice of Buddhism has the effect of making us very aware of our social connections, of our interconnectedness, and makes us think about how we function in society. And the role of the artist in society is a very important one. For a lot, it's a very important question, I should say, for artists. For a lot of the 19th century and early 20th century artists, the role of art was basically a kind of self-development. But the idea that art could actually be a kind of a way, a kind of gift, a kind of benefiting the society in several ways, both in literal ways, teaching us about, say, nonviolence, as I did as Gandhi does and is presented in the opera, but also bringing us to a state of mind which is not so connected with the world of the adversarial world that we mostly live in.